It's like a drive-through for farmers. Input products at their fingertips 24/7. New technology showcased at a new facility in Hartwell. Late planting leads to a decision to extend irrigation season for a few farmers. And whether it's in booths or fields, science labs or boardrooms, young ag leaders are encouraged to learn more about all agriculture has to offer. Get ready for NTV's Grow. Farm income is expected to drop nearly 45% for this coming year. The Bureau of Business Research at UNL predicts 2015 Nebraska farm income of about $3.5 billion, the lowest level since 2009. However, farm income is anticipated to stabilize about $4 billion in 2016 and 2017. It's led by a significant drop in crop prices from record highs 2 years ago. In June 2013, for example, corn sold for $7.05 a bushel in Nebraska City. In June this year, it sold at $3.43. Soybean prices dropped 37%, wheat dropped 34%. Input products at hand 24/7. It's like a drive-through for farmers. Some of this new technology was on display at a grand opening for a new facility in Hartwell. NTV's Tanner Kaler was there and brings you more.
Fertilizer and crop protection.
As the demand for crop input services goes up across the state, Cargill's new operations facility in Hartwell hopes to cater to the needs of farmers day or night.
The 24/7 service for our producers will provide them with the flexibility that they need to keep their farms running and become as profitable as they can be.
That's thanks to the new CPAS bay at the plant, and this is how it works. Farmers can call ahead and order whatever blend they need of fertilizer or other crop input. Then, after receiving an order code, they can drive up 24/7 and fill up with their order. It's fully automated and is one of just 2 CPAS bays in the state.
We have weather delays, and so when we actually can get in the field, lots of times farmers want to go day and night. And so this is one of the few facilities in the state where you could actually come and get crop input, fertilizer in the middle of the night so you can keep rolling.
Many of the other systems at the new $9 million facility are automated as well, which the plant manager says saves the farmer and the company money.
The producer is able to put down exactly what they need down to the micronutrient on each area of his land.
As for the local economy, State Senator John Keene says facilities like Hartwell's will grow beyond Kearney County.
Multiplier effect of this kind of an infrastructure investment, not only in terms of the 27 employees that work here at the Cargill facility and the $9 million of tax base, but also the ability to expand some of the most modern technology available.
Also with that CPAS bay, farmers are able to resize their orders, pick up what they need, and then they can come back and get the rest at a later time. Pretty cool stuff. Meanwhile, irrigation season could be a little bit longer for some farmers in the area. Since planting some crops was delayed by wet conditions, Central Nebraska Public Power and Irrigation District agreed to extend the season by 2 weeks. The 2-inch per acre allocation, though, remains in place. Meanwhile, Lake McConaughey is likely to reach its peak elevation this week. Inflows from the North Platte River recede and releases for irrigation deliveries are picking up. CNPPID civil engineer reported it will not quite reach the normal maximum pool elevation. Congressman Adrian Smith says he will do whatever it takes to stop the Waters of the U.S. rule. This week, he introduced a House resolution designed to block the move. The change to the Clean Water Act would extend regulations on waterways to those running through farmlands, which leaves some in Nebraska, as well as Smith, worried about what that would mean for landowners.
The EPA's Waters of the U.S. rule, known as WOTUS, and is now finalized by the Obama administration, and I really believe it poses a significant threat to our agriculture economy and certainly remains one of the top concerns for Nebraska producers.
The resolution has been referred to the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. The Waters of the U.S. rule is set to go into effect August 28th. It's been a challenge in some areas when it comes to wheat harvest, so let's take a look at how wheat is doing across the state of Nebraska. We start in the southeast. With rain delays, harvested wheat was at 18%, ahead of the normal 11% from last year. In the northern panhandle, producers said they are still about 10 days away from harvest. The crop is in average condition, but suffered some hail damage. Saw flies have been seen in the area. No issues, though, reported in that. Now, the southwest corner, some test cutting already taking place there. Move to the south central part of Nebraska. Harvest is in full swing. It's 20 to 50% complete. Producers reported dry land yields ranging 12 to 70 bushels per acre. Irrigated yields 65 to 85. Harvest is 5 to 10% complete in the southeast part of Nebraska. Producers are reporting variable yields ranging from 15 to 60 bushels per acre. Livestock producers are warned to be on the lookout for rabies cases as they are on the rise. Those authorities in Kansas say it's happening there. The Kansas Department of Ag Division and Animal Health confirms 69 cases of rabies as of June this year. Only 69 positive cases were confirmed in all of 2014. Of the 69 cases reported this year, though, 13 of them occurred in domestic animals, including 9 cattle and 4 cats. These numbers are expected to continue to rise through the end of the year. The Kansas Animal Health Commissioner urges producers to be observant of erratic behavior in wildlife or livestock. We first met this York area farmer, egg farmer, last year, a Marine Corps and Army veteran. And we're going to catch up with him now. NTV's Megan Johnson has a look at how his product and dreams just keep on growing.
Dan Romas is going from a 3-acre pasture-raised egg farm to 15 acres with the goal of nearly doubling his flock. And the military veteran turned farmer says he's gotten this far thanks to great support. Dan Romas needs bigger equipment and more space for Prairie Pride poultry.
The demand has been so overwhelming. It has so far outstripped the supply and the support from the local community, York, and even here in Grand Island from Hy-Vee food stores.
Romas recently moved his laying hen operation from a few acres outside of York to a farm he bought near Grand Island, ready to tap into what he says is a big demand for farm fresh eggs.
Kearney, Hastings, Grand Island, and of course I still have my markets out east.
Romas is also getting into another side of poultry, raising market broilers when the laying hens go into a cycle called a molt.
There is a period of about upwards of 6 weeks where they don't lay eggs. Well, how am I going to keep a revenue coming in through the farm? I need to diversify.
It keeps him busy, but Romas says it's not all about the birds. He's been working as an advocate for some of the loan and grant programs geared toward veterans getting into ag, something he says made his achievements possible.
Raising awareness for the different programs that anybody, but particularly disabled veterans, can use.
As for the recent challenge facing poultry producers, the disease avian influenza, Romas says it hasn't been a concern, and he isn't taking advantage of price scares.
I want everybody to be able to have access to the eggs, buy the eggs, and so I don't want to price them too high.
Meanwhile, he says his goals are getting bigger. He has plans for portable coops and a rotation system to keep up to 1,000 birds on his new farm.
Just beginning the journey, and I'm looking forward to all the challenges.
Romas says he's still working to be as transparent with his farming practices as possible, welcoming visitors, but he says he is a little tighter with biosecurity measures just because of things like bird flu.
One thing our Nebraska farms grow is talented young people. NTV's Steve White went to Lincoln to find out how they are trying to keep those young people involved in agriculture.
Speakers say this event's not just about keeping kids busy, just another week of activities, but serves a much deeper purpose to build leaders for our state's #1 industry.
It's not just sitting in a tractor, planting corn, or working on cattle.
Farming still needs guys and gals in boots, but also those comfortable in the science lab and boardroom.
Agriculture is not just farming anymore or ranching. It is everything in between that you can think of. It's accounting, it's marketing, it's public relations, whether it's welding, everything you can think of, any job out there can relate to agriculture.
For 44 years, NAYI, the Nebraska Ag Youth Institute, has encouraged kids like Raylan Ripp of Kearney to consider a future in agriculture.
And some of those jobs are cutting edge jobs that, if they like playing with drones at home or on the Xbox, there's a field in agriculture that probably will be able to utilize their talent.
The state ag director says not only is the world population growing, so is income.
That means that we're increasing buying power.
A larger middle class will demand beef and pork that Nebraska can help supply.
There's a lot of excitement in this room about agriculture and agriculture careers.
Not that many years ago, NAYI attendance at the University of Nebraska was down. Some kids questioned if there was a future in agriculture. Now, kids like Amherst senior Marissa Kegley don't know exactly what direction to go.
There are countless careers in agriculture,
but see a strong future for the men and women who produce food, fuel, and fiber.
All the kids here are really passionate about agriculture and can definitely see a career in agriculture.
This is the longest event of its kind in the nation, building leaders on and off the farm. Steve White, NTV News, Lincoln.
Knee-high by the 4th of July. Well, maybe overhead high. We asked you on Facebook to let us know what the corn is like really on the 4th of July in your area, and we got quite a great response, even some pictures sent in, and one showing seed corn barely making it knee-high, others reaching up to nearly 7 feet. The pictures are amazing, and remember, if you want to share any, just go to our Facebook page, as well as you can email us pictures at grow@nebraska.tv. Dealing with Roundup-resistant weeds. We know that it's a problem. We're going to address it later on. And keeping young farmers and ranchers interested in agriculture, also learning a little bit more about trade. That's coming up next. Stay with us.